G'day, Carroll. How are you?
Good. Now,
Title. There were 3 people in contention, but Nicky eliminated the world champion, California's Tom Curren. Then we saw even more upsets yesterday. They were to continue right through this event. Yesterday we saw Gary Taylor, the Quicksilver champion, take out Mark Occhilupo, who was in contention for the world title before this event started. Also, we saw in another upset yesterday, the former world champion, Tom Carroll, get knocked out by the Australian Pro Junior champion, Richard Marsh from Cronulla in Sydney. So anything could happen here, Darryl.
I like the way that Gary Elkerton is surfing from the Sunshine Coast. He's the only Australian left with a chance at the world title. Gee, looks strong. Yeah, he's a big boy and he's a very strong surfer. He loves Bells Beach. He seems to thrive on the strength of the waves here. And I'd be predicting in this contest, and I'm not a gambling man, but I think we'll see Nicky up against Gary Elkerton in the final. That could be either tomorrow or possibly the next day, but anything can happen. But I'd say I'd be putting my money on Gary Elkerton right now. He looks real good.
And quarterfinals, where African Sean Thompson.
The waves were wonderful at Bells, and so was Newcastle's Nicky yet again. Backing up his first-round win over reigning world champ Tom Curren, Wood scored a 5-0 win in today's second-round heat over Hawaii's Michael Ho. This is the best surf Bells has seen for competition week, with well-formed waves consistently over 2 metres. Australia's Gary Elkerton stayed in the race as the only man still with a hope of overhauling Curren for this year's world crown, with a 5-0 win over the other Ho brother, Derek. 6 of the men's quarterfinalists are Australians, American Dave Parmenter and South Africa's Sean Thompson, the international remnants. The hot tips to take out the title are Elkerton or the nippy teenager Wood, who, like his godfather, seems to thrive on the big swell.
Sydney's Barton Lynch surfed brilliantly today to qualify for the quarterfinals. Lynch made the most of every wave, crashing onto the shore break at the end of each ride. Newcastle's Nicky Wood, the 17-year-old giant killer, continued on his winning way. Today he defeated the veteran Hawaiian, Michael Ho. Victorian champion Gary Taylor had his run in the Rip Curl main event stopped, but still has a chance in the Quicksilver semi-finals. Taylor just couldn't find form and was beaten by California's Dave Parmenter, who was surfing with his feet seemingly glued to his surfboard.
While all eyes were on number 4 seed Gary Elkerton, who was matched with Derek Ho of Hawaii. Elkerton had the better selection of waves and looked far more dominant, winning 5-0. He now poses a threat to world champion Tom Curren's crown. The West Coast waves were towering the 2-metre mark today, but Elkerton rode them to perfection. The 23-year-old is now favoured to win the title. I asked him who he thought the man to beat was.
Me.